I guess I can't see. Oh, there's my face down here. Oh boy. Okay, good. Much better. Oh, that's very sweet. Okay. Hi everyone that's joining me, Isabella. How's everybody doing on Instagram today? So I'm doing an interesting little duet here of Instagram here and Facebook here. I haven't done this yet, and I got Dr. Nan is going to come on my live stream. Dr. Nan and I switch off each week. She's a sexologist and a million other things, and a good friend. And so she and I do the switcheroonies of all of our live streams. We've been doing it for about, I think, 6 weeks already. And we drink a little wine. So here's my wine. I'm waiting. Youngest age you date. Oh my God, we're going to start that again? Wow. Okay. Don't want to go with that, but I do have a little funny, I did get a funny little, a little email that I'll wait for, I'm going to wait for Dr. Nan to come on. So when she comes on, then I will show you my email. If I could still find the email. Let's see what where did I put that? Oh, I know, in my photos. Okay. I'll be with you in 2 secs. Let me just find this funny email. Okay, found the email. It's a little surprise. Title is Looking for a Sugar Mama. You're drinking peach Moscato right now. Oh, that sounds good. Everybody else, what are you drinking? Let me know. Join me in a glass of wine or whatever you're drinking. And hey there to all the people on this Facebook stream. Let's see if I can scroll down to you guys here. Oh boy, a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so I'm just going to be waiting then for Dr. Nancy to join us. Hi there, Jessie and Samoshal Louisa. Yeah, your girl is here again on her live stream, looking for my friend Nancy to come on. And she's probably going on her Facebook too. It is a complicated setup we got going on here. So what do I do when complications arise? I sip my wine and wait for her. Okay, you're the hottest cougar ever, I'll date. Okay, thank you for saying that. Sonisian. Hey Ron and Ellie. Who's up here? So I'm waiting for Dr. Nan to join me. Hopefully I'm on the right channel. I think I'm on, oh well, she'll probably figure it out later on. Can you chug that wine? Can I? No, you sip wine. I'm not going to chug wine. What are you, nuts? So, okay, so if you're just joining me on Instagram, what's happening here is I got people on Instagram and people on Facebook on Karenlee Poter Show. And I'm trying to wait for Nancy to come. Oh, there she comes. Hi, Nancy. She's going to request to be on. Then I'm going to read my most recent email from someone that I thought was amusing and see what she has to say. Hello. Join me here. Hey, young lady. And by the way, I've been doing a little TikToking, so if you guys haven't seen me on TikTok, go for it. Check it out. And I wanted to tell you that my book is out. Meaning I'm using it to hold up my computer. Fuck Games Day Cougars is out. You've seen it, the TikTok? Thank you. Anyway, if you check out my book. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes walking down the street. It's in Amazon called Fuck Games Day Cougars, and I'll put the link on here below. And that's it. Hi there, Flash.
Hi.
Aha! Why do I always laugh?
All right, I'm trying to go live on
Facebook.
I'm trying to go live on Facebook, and it's telling me there's there's something wrong with my camera. I don't know what's
Oh,
going
that's
on.
what happened to me. You have to update. You got to update Google Chrome. Yes, that's what you got to do. You got to update
right.
your. Do you go on it with
I-
your camera? I just did it right before this because I was like, what is that? It must be a new update of some sort. It's not a big deal,
How do
but
I do that quickly?
well, you're gonna have to probably yeah, you're gonna have to go it says update a camera, right? When you hit that little thing. I'm sure you guys have
Let me go back and look.
You're pouring your Shiraz.
Sorry
In the
about this
meantime,
technical
pour
difficulty.
some wine. Just pour some wine right now. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna
camera issue.
yeah. See, and then
Okay.
it says you gotta exit out of all of Chrome and download. They're gonna tell you which thing to download. You gotta download.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put on there. Sorry, technical difficulty.
Sorry, just tell them to come to mine, Karenlee Poter show. If they come to mine, then they can see. Well, I'll be reading the same stuff that you'll be reading.
Okay.
And I have a little special treat for you today, Dr. Nan. I got a nice little email. I thought I have an email that I thought we'd go through and figure out what to say in my response. Yeah, I know Matthew Nipper, and we're having a little technical difficulties. They must have just come out with that recently, the little update there for Facebook.
All right. Well, I'll do that.
So welcome.
Hi. All right. So you have an email?
I have an email that I'd like to read to you.
Okay.
The email is, it's called Looking for a Sugar Mama. I'm sure aren't there a lot of sugar mamas out there that want to take care of guys because they don't have enough to take care of already?
I don't know. Are there a lot of sugar mamas?
I don't know. I'm guessing no. But anyway, here's what this guy says. If you fly me out to come see you, I swear I will eat your pussy every hour. 5 happy faces. You so beautiful. 3 happy faces. It's crazy. I want to put this big dick in you. I was thinking to myself, I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for his big dick for a long time. And I'm glad that he volunteered to come visit me. And I'll be buying him a plane ticket. I just wondering
what an offer.
What a great offer.
Wow.
Oh
phenomenal.
No. Oh my God. I mean, really? Okay. So I thought I'd share that with you. And if you have any great emails to share with me, I'd like to hear them.
I as a matter of fact, do. Let me find this.
You're in another doozy? I'm just not understand. I literally don't understand. I don't understand, like, when you're writing an email, don't you think, like, how will this person respond to me? Will this person say, oh, man, I've been waiting for someone to fly, that I can fly out in the middle of COVID-19 and have them come stay with me and eat my pussy and stick their big dick in me. This is what I've been waiting for.
Well, here's one for you.
You too?
Hello, Dr. Nancy. I'm perhaps one of your biggest fans. Love everything about you. I want to meet with you and learn how to be an even better lover. I'm doing fine in that department. I'm sure he thought, uh-oh, she'll think I'm not worth having, right? My dream will be learning from you one-on-one, or going to the river I see you practicing yoga at. Looks like it might be clothing optional beach. If we can meet, I'll go to, and he mentions my home city, to make it convenient for you. Perhaps we could schedule 2 days back to back for a few hours. Sitting here in my little town, waiting for somebody to come and have me teach them how to make love better for 4 hours a day, 2 days straight out of my life. I mean,
he's
what
waiting.
the hell?
I think right now would be a good time for you to contact Matt and say, I've been waiting for you. We need to discuss sex. In particular, I need to get some tips from you, in case, because I'm sure he can offer some very good advice to you.
Well, I had my assistant respond to him. My assistant, his name is Keith. So I thought having my manservant,
Uh-oh.
my man assistant write to him. Hello, Matt. Well, I'm sure Dr. Nancy would be delighted. I'm sure Dr. Nancy is delighted by your ongoing support for her work. I have to inform you that she does not provide one-on-one private sessions for anyone in person. She's earned a doctoral degree in human sexuality and clinical sexology, and her profession is that of a health and human sexuality counselor and educator for women and couples. She does not offer hands-on surrogacy program. All the very best to you.
He wrote a very respectful email back to him.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's
he
the same Matt. I think that I got that same.
Disrespectful in his email. No, yeah.
I just want you to know. I think Matt is two-timing us because I think that I got the same thing from another Matt, and now I'm gonna have to go look that up later. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to
Matt story.
We will keep you up to date on all the Mats out there because that must be the name.
It's like Matt, it's just not happening, dude. Go get yourself a girlfriend.
I'm thinking Matt might be, just a little challenge there. Anyway, I love you, Nina. You are so hot. What the fuck? My name is Karen. Hello, Karenlee Poter. Where do you get
Would they call you Nina?
Yeah. I love you, Nina. I am not Nina. Oh my God. Okay. Let's offer some advice. So in case you were wondering, both Dr. Nan and I give a lot of free coaching here on Instagram and Facebook. So if you have any questions about anything, let us know what that might be. As long as you stay away from inviting yourself over to our homes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah,
if you could stay away from that topic, will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nina Hartley. Only thinking about what they want for sure.
Nina Hartley. I just introduced Dr. Nan to Nina Hartley. She's a good friend of mine, and she's not coming over to your house either, or vice versa. Sorry about that.
Oh my gracious! Yeah, there was a question. There's a question about what to do during COVID. Let's see, where'd that go?
That's a tough one. Maybe you can take that and run with it.
What are we meant to do during COVID? So that's Allie K. I don't know what do you mean? What are you meant to do? Like,
I'm going with some sexual shit. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, do the same thing you would do when it's not COVID. Take care of your own needs.
Get yourself something to do with yourself.
I have a friend that works at Amazon, and she's been telling me about the number of vibrators and sex doll toys and things that they're shipping is off the Richter scale.
Oh yeah. There's no question about it.
People are finding ways to gratify themselves, that's for sure.
Yeah. And as we all are.
Yeah. So I'm wondering about the people that are cruising Tinder and are using the apps. How's that going for you? Are you actually meeting up with people, or are you just doing things virtually?
I know that my son is doing the virtual.
How are you doing? Oh, Pornhub numbers are beyond their wildest dreams. Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as the pandemic hit Italy, Pornhub it almost crashed because there were so many people going on at all different times of day. Like
absolutely,
they weren't used to. Yeah.
Okay, so someone just said virtual sex. So that's another thing. Probably cam girls are probably doing very well as well because people crave human interaction, even if it's it's actually safer to do it this way. I just wrote an article, I didn't write the article. I was interviewed for an article for Hustler, and it was a great article about voyeurism and exhibitionism. Cool. And I know you'd like to read that article, but it begs the question of what is exhibitionism or voyeurism? Is porn voyeurism? If so, I
Sure.
guess I'm a voyeur.
Absolutely. I mean, I think absolutely anything that you want to watch, you know, people, I think I think we all learn and experience the world in different ways. And you can see that from time we're infants, how we, you know, most of us are very oral in early childhood. We put everything in our mouth to feel the world, to learn about the world.
Right.
So I think some people stay in that very tactile learning and exploring, and so those people tend to be more sensually driven. They want the flesh, they want the experience, whereas some people stay more distanced and more either audio or visual. My husband's very audio oriented, so
I used to be
sounds.
I used to like to read erotica. Maybe that's because that's all I could get at the time. But I always like to use my imagination. That's what I wrote, actually. Like, I think for me, the reason I like to watch is because then I imagine myself in the roles that I'm watching, whether it be a strip club or whatever it is, because God knows I couldn't get on a pole if my life depended on it. You probably are an expert.
I'm not an expert, but I explore the pole.
If you can hear that, she explored. Okay, so I got a Matthew on my live stream. I wonder if it's the same Matthew that has contacted you, but Matthew would like me to please show us a bit of your hot body, Karen, and point the cam downwards. And then 3 thumbs up here. And I appreciate the sentiment, Matthew, but unfortunately,
thank him.
I'm not a goddamn cam model.
Right.
Let alone a cam model that makes no money.
Here's the thing, Matthew, is that we're not here to be bossed by you. We're here to answer questions, to have a conversation. We're not here to be directed by you. You're not entitled to direct us.
That's
so
right.
Go find someplace else to direct people.
Go find someone else to direct. It's actually rude to me that you've asked me to do that.
It's insulting. Yeah.
It's insulting, and I would never say, why don't you go take a video of yourself and take your pants off? I just don't, because unfortunately it'll send it to me.
Yeah, so Matthew, what is it that makes you feel entitled to ask that or have that?
Where did you get that to people
in your upbringing that women are here?
It's easy to do this. Yeah, it's easy to do this when you're a keyboard warrior, you know. I had to, yesterday, I think I was doing a live stream. I had to put two people in timeout, and one of them I reported for harassment. I reported
in timeout.
I had to put them little.
How do you put them in timeout?
I put those little fuckers in timeout. You go over to the right side. There's 3 little dots, and they got put in timeout.
That's awesome. Timeout.
And now Matthew has resorted to calling me boring and LMAO. And
what was that?
Matthew has decided to call me boring and LMAO. Laughed my ass off. And my friend Neil he says, you don't want to see me in my birthday suit? We'd like to see Neil in his birthday suit. I know you would, because he's a friend of mine and he's funny as fuck. But I don't think, I don't know. Right now, I think it's going to be a little difficult because we already got too many people on the line. We got too much technology going on here to do anything like that. Yeah. But no, I know people always ask me, am I on OnlyFans? No, it's the same thing as porn. Okay. No. So this person wants to know why they can't see Matthew's comments. Matthew is commenting on Facebook, which I think 3 people are watching right now.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Nobody's commenting.
Thanks, Matthew.
Sorry, Matthew. You're getting a virtual spanking. Okay, so Ellie wants to know why is OnlyFans.
Karen's multitasking.
I'm so multitasking right now. You have no idea what's going on. There's a difference between, I think, Karen's on YouTube.
I feel so weird not being having my Facebook up. I'm so bummed that I didn't update my thing.
What?
I have an unupdated thing.
Oh, we'll do it again. I mean, don't worry. Okay. If anybody wants it, they can come find us on Instagram here. Or if you guys want to
when you afterward, when you save the video and send me the link, and I'll upload it to our the YouTube channel.
Okay? Save it on Facebook.
You can download it. You can download the video.
Ah, okay. So Amanda Rue, this is a little friend of ours from Sex Talk with My Mom, would like me to introduce your friend here. So she probably came on later. This is Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce. And Amanda Rue, you should know from listening to our podcast that she's been on frequently, and this is her. She's incredible. So just the introduction has been made.
Is it Mammon Rue?
It's Mama. It's Amanda.
Rue?
Amanda.
Mama Rue. Cool.
Yes.
Hi,
oh my God.
Nice to meet you.
So you have heard her. Yay. Yay. Yeah. I think you've been on like at least 3 to 4 times. It's Amanda, of course.
We need to do another one of how to keep sex alive in the Corona era, because I've been seeing all these other articles come out about how it's deflating people's sex drive and people aren't having as much sex, and it's like, how do you keep this going? Because we certainly haven't had a decline. It's required more effort for us because we get so busy working because we're in the healthcare field. So we can get too in our heads about, the healthcare process. And now Mark and I are working together more.
Yeah.
So, but certainly it hasn't diminished the fun part. So.
You're talking about you and your husband.
Yeah.
Well, do share. How do you keep the spark alive? Share.
Okay,
share your little secret.
Take off my sweater.
Take off your sweater. It's getting hot in here.
Woohoo!
Do I still talk to Danny Wild? I don't even know who Danny Wild is, but I probably do. Okay. So let's hear, how do you keep the spark alive between a husband and wife during Corona time?
I think you have to make fun dates. I make sure that if a few times a week I actually take a shower and put makeup on.
It always helps. I always find that helps. Taking a shower is key.
Yeah. And we have a pretty sweet rhythm to our relationship. How our days go, and when we sit on the couch to either watch a show or whatever, we are always touching. So, either my foot's on his leg or his hand is on my leg or his hand is down my pants or up my skirt.
I was going to say, or your hand is on his crotch.
It's usually
your hand is.
Yeah. So,
but that's,
so
what, I'm glad you mentioned.
Connection.
I'm happy you mentioned that. So people on Facebook, in case she's giving tips on how to spice up your sex life during quarantine, and what she does with her husband is she grabs his dick. No, I'm just kidding. What she does with her husband is, they once or twice a week she takes a shower, and when they're watching TV, they're very touchy-feely. But I think that's the key, is like, you just want to make sure to remember that, cuddling is a good foreplay. I think cuddling, or, even just light massaging or whatever, that could be considered sex right there. It's a good start.
I think just that physical connection, because when we're separated all day, especially if we're working in separate places during the day, we're not touching anybody anymore. I'm typically a very tactile person, so if I'm around my grandkids or my friends, we're touching, hugging, we have that intimate connection. And so now people, I think, are even more hungry than ever for that human touch.
I know.
So if you can find a cuddle buddy,
I know, but you got to be safe with the cuddle buddies too. So someone says, Amanda says, it's a good time to really explore sex with your partner and yourself. Perfect time to try new toys. Okay. If you go to Laylo.com and enter code, I believe it's MOM or something like that, you get a discount. But I recommend the Laylo products. Big time. Big time.
I love the feel of their products.
They're sturdy.
The tactile touch of them. It's a leathery, velvety feeling. It's really interesting.
And then you match that with a little Uber Lube. Actually, Uber Lube is not that great with silicone toys, but they have different toys too that you can get, like some that are good for during sex that you can use for clitoral stimulation while you're having sex. I think Amanda's right. Just try new stuff right now. I think it's a good time to role play, like pretend you're somebody else. You know, that if you're into acting at all, it's fun to role play.
Definitely.
So
Storytelling. I've been doing a lot of my counseling practice. Ironically, I got a full-time job doing medical stuff, and then my practice is going crazy because people are just needing help. And I have a series of practices that I teach and then I give to people to practice. And one of them is on finding your erotic language and how to find out what things you need to really turn you on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a very specific practice that I put people through to do that.
You give them homework, otherwise they...
Oh, I do.
I give them homework.
And oh yeah. And I think what people find is no matter how long they've been together, they learn something. Because we're always changing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the same I was 5 years ago.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that was I'm glad you brought that. I'm just like so distracted in my ADD mind here. Amanda says, I know, Karen, you aren't totally into the clit suction toys, but I just purchased one and to see, and I really enjoy it. I mean, yeah, one of them was just too intense for me, and maybe I was not using it correctly. So, I mean, maybe I'd give it a shot if it was a new one. Matthew here on Facebook said, LOL, mom. Okay. That was what somebody else called me mommy, and said that they, I can't handle it. Sometimes I just cannot handle it.
If somebody calls me mommy, I just block them.
Another one that's good. All right. So JJ Smooth, who I love, I've known him for years. Intimacy is huge. Got to invest in that with your partner and make time for it. Very correct. Yes. Intimacy. What is that? Intimacy. Okay. Can you talk about cuckold relationships? Oh, Nan, let's talk about cuckold relationships. Have you ever had a cuckold relationship? I mean,
well, I think the term cuckold gets that's a big fucking glass of wine, girl.
It's funny that you say that. I did a TikTok video of me with this glass of wine, and I did a blue.
I was like, holy shit, that thing's like a bowl.
And in my TikTok, I said, when they said one glass of wine helps you after accidents, do they mean like this big of a glass?
That really shocked me. It's like all of a sudden, it's like your face disappeared. Okay, cuckold.
All right. Where were we? We were on cuckolding. Yes.
The term cuckold originally talked about humiliation, and a white man with a small penis being humiliated with joy. I mean, enjoying being humiliated by his white wife having sex with a great big black bull. So that was kind of the original intent of cuckold.
Okay.
So when people say they want a cuckold relationship, I always ask, so you're into humiliation, which is fine. You know, I mean, I don't yuck people's yum, but just know that that's what it is.
Right.
And they go, no, I just love to watch my wife be pleasured. And I go, so maybe you're into more the hot wife thing.
Yeah, or the voyeurism that we just talked about.
Right. So a lot of people really think their wife is beautiful, she's sexy, she's hot, and they would love to see her being pleasured by a really hot, young, studly guy.
Yeah.
And that turns them on. That's not the cuckold relationship. Right. That's just hot wife. You're enjoying the being a voyeur.
It's true, and because I did a video about this, because I had a guy who enjoyed humiliation on the show. He liked to be tied up and watching his wife with another guy, and people were like, "I'd never let my wife do that." And I'm thinking Nancy would be like, "Oh, you wouldn't let your wife I know what you
Yeah.
say about allowing your wife.
Oh, that let word.
You let or allow. Anyway, but there was a lot of, I mean, it has hundreds of thousands of views. If you go on my YouTube channel and check it out, it says, I let my wife, I like to watch my wife with other men or something like that. And there's a lot of variation to it. I mean, it's just like, this is just something to spice up their sex life, or something that they just like doing. Or it could be the humiliation aspect to it, but it doesn't matter as long as the couple is both. As long as the couple are both on board, who cares? And no one.
And I think we have to remember that in any consensual relationship, and it's a consensual behavior, even people that like to reenact rape, and that's a real triggery word for people that have rape fantasies. But what I've seen is women who have the rape fantasy, what they reenact puts them in total control of the rape scene.
No,
which is
true.
not what they experienced if they've ever had a rape.
Right.
So
I mean,
it's not disrespecting people who've been raped, but it's saying, okay, I want to change this framework that I'm seeing this in from my own view, for my own health, to be something I can control.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I had this experience of what you're talking about when I went out to dinner one night with a bunch of ladies, and we had a few drinks, and I don't know, somehow I said, well, you know what, the number one fantasy, and this is a fact, it's a scientifically based, controlled study fact, that the number one fantasy for women is rape. Fantasy is the key word. This one girl went off on me. I'm a crisis counselor for rape victims. How could you say that? I said, I'm not saying that I recommend women getting raped. I'm just saying that their fantasy is that. I don't care if your fantasy is about getting fucked by a donkey. It's your fantasy. Who cares?
Right.
You know?
And the beautiful thing about a fantasy is you control the whole scene. And when you recreate a fantasy in a consensual relationship, you control how it goes.
So the sub is actually controlling. The sub is actually controlling the dom.
Right. And that's why with the whole BDSM world, there was such upheaval. Like when 50 Shades first came out, all the the conspiracies around that. It's just trying to encourage abuse. And you're like, okay, let's break this down. A woman who's being abused by her partner, how much control does she have of when,
zero,
and where, and how he abuses her?
Nothing.
No. But in a BDSM environment, he might be doing the same behaviors. He might be humiliating her, slapping her, beating her, doing whatever to her. But who's in control? Her.
Well, she's in control because she, at any point in time, can use her safe word to say,
Right.
Nope.
Right. And she designed it. She had to consent to all of those behaviors, whereas a woman in an abusive relationship hasn't consented to any of them and has control over none of them. Right. So
I wish you were there when I had this.
Confused.
I wish you were at this dinner when I was abused verbally by one of my friends after a few drinks.
It's been a huge trigger for people, especially people that have had abuse,
I think that's, or have been raped, or
right.
Anyway, so let's read some of these comments, because I think pretty much everybody's on board here. It's the same thing with pegging. I don't know why. Amanda says consensual and non-consensual fantasy, whatever floats your boat. Jemina says yes, consent. KD4, walk away. I've always loved the woman in control. Pre-established boundaries, it's communicated. Yeah, I mean, so we're all kind of on board here, except for Matthew, who says cuckold and BBC, ha ha ha.
How old is Matthew? Like 12?
Matthew mentally is I'm under the age of 16, I think.
Have you actually looked to see if he's a minor?
No, I have not. Let's see, Matthew, how old are you? Oops, I don't want to screw up anything here. If I do, I'm afraid to touch anything here. Next thing you know.
Because he sounds really Sure.
Well, it's okay. It spices up the conversation. Just ignore the Virgin Matthew says. Hey, you know what? That I honestly though I don't like the shaming of being a virgin because there's so many guys that have such shame about it. So I can't laugh about that. But being a kid, yeah.
No, I think I think he's probably about 12. I mean, that's kind of the mentality where he is. The ha 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 and mom.
I don't know.
You know?
Lot of
She said but. She said but.
She said boobies. Woohoo.
Boobies.
So listen, you guys, we have time now. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask about anything, if it's especially if it's involving zodiac signs, I'm extremely apt to answer those questions. But if you have any questions, honestly, go for it because this is just us with a little wine, sitting back and chilling in the best we can.
Bowl of wine.
I have my little vase of my vase of wine.
Yes. That is
but I only have one glass.
Gotta put a little water in there.
Oh, you're gonna drink a little? Yeah, I should mix a little water with my wine here. Oh, you know what? I just
I'll have to tease you because I'm gonna be. Oh, nice! I'm gonna be in SoCal next week.
What? Okay, we're gonna distance ourselves somewhere so that we can find each other.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's find a way to be able to just meet and go for a freaking walk or something.
We're doing it.
Was that your daughter you were with up on the top
roof?
Of the pool?
No, that was just a young influencer. But we were 6 feet apart. Although my daughter said, "It didn't look like you're 6 feet apart." I'm like, "Trust me, we were," and we're outside with masks on.
That woman had a beautiful chest.
She has a body like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught a glimpse. I was like, wow, she's got a beautiful body.
Okay, let's go into zodiac signs, shall we?
Okay.
All right.
Capricorn.
All
right. So, Karen, are you the expert here?
I pretend I am. I was just on a podcast. It was such a funny podcast called Lizard People, and it's all about conspiracy theories. It's going to be out soon. Oh. And my son and I came. It was for sex stuff with my mom. We said we were debating whether or not some people called astrology a conspiracy. So it was just funny, and we were talking a lot about astrology. And then at the end, they said, "Okay, well, we will rate you and how well you did, depending on if you can guess our zodiac signs." Do you know? I got the first one on the first try, and I got the second one on the second try. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good, right?
So how do you assess them?
I have like I know a lot about astrology, and then I ask some questions, and then I have like a gut feeling about something, and I just follow it, and 9 times out of 10, literally this happens, and I'm right. It's amazing. It's just crazy.
You know, we Libras are incredibly intuitive.
That's what it is. Matthew is a Capricorn, in case you were wondering.
Oh, well, I was. Did he ever answer you about how old he is?
And Matthew, how old are you? Please say you're 18. Is it true that Aquarius are horn dogs? I think there's an argument to be made that anyone in the zodiac can be considered a horn dog. I know people think Scorpios tend to be hornier, but truthfully, they're just more passionate than most people about everything. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're hornier. There's a lot of horny zodiacs.
So where do Libras fall on the horny scale?
Kinky. How's that? Because Libras are always weighing things back and forth like this. So we're kind of open-minded to things. And that way we have a little kinky side to us. And how does that play into your theory about astrology? Would you say the kinky side of you is from the Libra, or is it just who you are?
I mean, I don't know. I've always been that, you know, just more exploratory and free spirited.
I think me too. Yeah. So that's
what's this question? In Hawaii, 15-year-olds require both parental and judicial consent, and 16 to 17-year-olds require only parental consent. For what?
For consenting. Here's one. Jemima's a Capricorn with Aries moon and connected with a Taurus, and our connection is magical. Oh, wait, who was just asking me about that? See, I don't know enough about the other signs to know. Okay, so Capricorn with an Aries moon. That's interesting. That's a steadfast climber with an experimental Aries emotional side. It's dealing with a Taurus. See, some people think Taurus are really horny. Let's see, we got Isabella's a Gemini. We'd love to know more about her sign. Well, I'm with a Gemini, and they're very flirty.
Oh, for marriage. Was that for marriage? Was that what that? Let's see.
Flirty.
No.
And Isabella, I think that's absolutely true about you. From what little I know of you, Isabella, I know you're a little bit of a flirt, and you have two sides to your personality, and I 100% could see Gemini in you. Oh, Lady Tina is a Scorpio. Woo hoo hoo. There you go.
So the consent ages were for marriage.
Oh, for marriage. You can get married at 15.
In Hawaii. Wow.
Oh, so okay. So we got that Taurus. We got the Taurus with the Scorpio, which I believe is a bless you.
So somebody says that their fiance says they're too flirty. That's such a judgment.
That's Gemini. That's a Gemini.
That's who you are. You're not who you are is never to anything.
Okay, so there's air signs.
You're just who you are.
Yeah, but I think is that Isabella who said that? Because I think she likes that side of her. she knows she's a flirt. Oh, of course. She's saying that she's saying it in a good way. She's saying it in a good way.
Okay.
My mom was always a big flirt. She's a Gemini. My boyfriend's a Gemini, big flirt. Here we go. The sexual we already did this one. Amanda is a Aquarius, another air sign. What about Leos? Leos like to be the center of attention, even if it's a subtle Leo. And also Leos have to have their way or the highway. My late husband had like 5 Leos in his chart. He was always the leader of everything. The captain was his nickname. So if you know any Leos, they like to be in charge. They're good at. There's a lot of Leos that are presidents. I don't know what our dear president is, whatever it is. Stay away.
I don't care. Mark is a Leo, but that doesn't fit him.
I was this close to saying to you, I bet you your husband's a Leo. Did I nail him? He's always the leader. Unbelievable, even if it's subtle.
He's like a quiet leader, though. He never demands to be the leader. He just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Leo. They always. I mean, it's cool. I'm telling you, I'm such a believer in this. What sign pairs well with Aquarius? Okay, so Aquarius is an air sign. You know, there's air, earth, water, fire. Aquarius is an air sign. Libra and Gemini. So any of those 3 would go real well with you, whoever BMG is. So yeah, you've got some Aquarians over here. But oh my God, we got a lot of things going on here. Apparently my sign is passionate and creative. That's right. Let's see. Oh, I love when someone says cuckoo to me. I always think of my dad. He always used to call me cuckoo, and here it is.
That happens every time we talk.
I know. It's amazing. Oh, we know Neil is a Sagittarius. I knew that about him. Sagittarians are like the kind that stick their foot in their mouth, but they're very fun, loving. They're like, I would say they're like Tigger in Winnie the Pooh. What? I want to mention Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, Isabella. Air sign. Oh, and can you read that French down there? You said the tangent.
I don't understand. I don't speak French.
Yeah, I love Sagittarians. Okay, we got a love affair going on with Neil and Jemima. She loves Sagittarians. You know, I've never dated a Sagittarian. It's interesting.
I don't think I have either. My oldest daughter is a Sagittarian. And that's enough.
I got to see the rest of your chart and Mark's chart to find out more about you now that I know he's a Leo. Because as I was telling you what a Leo was, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if he's a Leo because he does seem to be always the leader of everything. And that's exactly how my late husband was, always the leader. I found
Yeah.
fiance is a Cancer. I'm pretty sure Geminis and Cancers don't go together. Um, it's not horrible. I mean, I was with a Cancer, and it was so what is that? That's air and water. Air and water can go together. It can work. It can work. Don't
So,
worry about it.
so fire and fire probably doesn't do really well together, right?
No, it does. Does
Oh,
really
does
well.
it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you
Okay.
usually like for you to have a Libra would be great. Have you ever had a Libra? Has your ex been a Libra?
I dated one Libra in high school, but I didn't really like Libras. They bored me.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They weigh things too much back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth.
It's like we can't have two of us doing that.
It's too much.
I've
My
been
my
drawn to a lot of Aquariuses
That's an air sign. That's good. And
and
Geminis.
I think Mark's the I married a Gemini. That did not go well.
But there was something that was
No.
attractive about him.
When
Maybe
I was
some
15,
Cancer.
I just shouldn't have married him.
Maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't that he was a Gemini. Maybe it was that you shouldn't have gotten married at 16, or
Right,
fell in love then.
but today I don't even, I mean, I wouldn't even want to be his friend. I mean,
Oh.
he's that just not that, I don't like that person.
Yeah,
So-
I don't blame you. Here we go. Lady Tina says, "Well, my friend asked me what sign I told her, and that I'm a Scorpio, and she tells me she didn't want to die an early death and gave me a giggle." Honestly, my sister and my brother are both Scorpios, and they get like such a bad rap, but they are fun-loving people, and there are different types of Scorpios too. So they're not all like that. I want to sting you with it, like Scorpions like to do. They do keep a good secret, by the way.
Do they?
Oh, you work through all your issues, Isabella? I mean, a lot is also depend on the other parts of the chart. Like my husband's was Cancer, but then he had like 5 Leos. So if those Leos dominated over the Cancer. How the baby birth can affect personality? According to science, scientists have uncovered evidence that the month you are born can play a role in how your personality develops. I love this. Summer babies also display similar optimistic personalities, but they are often prone to rapidly flip-flopping from good to bad moods. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Air and water go together in a bubble. Now, what are your kids' sun signs? Are you speaking about Cam, who is a Pisces, which is the old soul of the zodiac, and the other two, my younger and my daughter and youngest son are both Virgos, which make them very organized, which I am
So
not.
whose wall do they want to know about? The artist, mine or Karen's?
Yeah, who is the artist? Oh yeah, you got some sketches going on back there. Well, who is that artist, Dr. Nan?
I'll bring this over there so you can see yourself.
Is that a penis?
No, it's a woman's body.
It's a woman's body.
Can you see?
Well,
Yeah, they're all women. Let me pull it back a little
They're
bit.
very cool sketches, I could tell you that much.
Yeah, but look on the other side of the room. See those?
Yes.
My birth mother that I just discovered about 5 years ago drew those when she was in her 20s.
Holy cow. First, did I know that you had a birth mother? I mean, I knew you had a birth mother, but I didn't know that you weren't raised by your birth mother. I'm assuming everybody has birth mothers. What a crazy assumption that is.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if you ever told me that. I thought I knew everything about you, but you're like an onion that I keep digging and digging and finding more and more and more, and it just doesn't stop.
That's a really fascinating story. I'll tell you sometime.
Okay.
So I love the pink color on the other side of the room. My blue, I know, isn't that pretty? I love that blue.
See, this is a true Libra.
I painted that blue wall for that because when I met my birth mother died 5 years before I discovered her and who she was, and then I discovered that I had 2 half siblings, and so
wow.
I met my half siblings, and when we all met in Newport Beach because my sister's from San Diego, my brother's from Chicago, and I'm from here. So
your brother's from Chicago.
Yeah.
I wonder if I met, if I know him.
Yeah. And he hasn't lived there a long time, just for work. But anyway, so they brought me these 3 sketches that they had
Oh,
found, that they had saved. But they had kind of Googled me to see like who I am, this strange sister that showed up in their lives. And so they brought those to me and gave them to me. So I
wow.
had to have them because they were, I mean, they're 50 years old.
Can you show us again,
So
now that we know the story
yeah,
behind this?
yeah. Is that clear?
Yeah. Wow.
Aren't they
So she was,
beautiful?
see, you were not raised by her, but she was fascinated by the human body as well, which is cool. That tells you something, right?
Yeah, and sensuality, and she was. I mean, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So I found out that I was a lot like her. I was her
Yeah.
first child born.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they gave them to me. So I kept them, and then I had them framed and protected in that. So yeah, and then
Lovely.
Dr. Ted gave me these, and I had these framed behind me. So
Doctor Who?
Dr. Ted, my the creator, the founder of the Institute for Advanced Study of Human Sexuality, where I got my doctorate.
Oh, did
So
not know him.
he gave me these.
They're very similar to your mom's.
I know. That was what was so strange, is because yeah, it's a lot of very interesting coincidences with that story.
Wow.
So,
Anyway,
yeah.
it's a nice happy ending. I guess, and you would have liked to have met her when she was alive, but
I would have, yeah.
yeah. Did they obviously, were they raised by her?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she just
But
probably
they
had you
didn't
pretty
know
down.
about me.
She never told them. And then you found them through
And
like
that was
ancestry.com
really
type of
hard.
thing?
Uh-huh. My oldest daughter surprised me with she tricked me into giving her a saliva sample, thinking it was a science experiment for my granddaughter. And so, so
Oh my
lo and
God.
behold, this report comes back, and she didn't realize that
Why did
in
she
the
do
report,
that? It's so weird
huh?
that why would she do that?
Well, because I'd searched many times in my life and then got
Oh,
discouraged.
okay. You knew
So
you were
she knew,
adopted.
yeah,
Okay. And you knew.
and I knew, yeah. I knew from the time I was a toddler. So anyway, but she didn't realize that one of the tabs that would be in this report was possible matches. And so when she presented it to me, she's like, I don't know what to tell you, but there's possible matches. And I'm like, really? Well, okay, let's find out. And the
Oh
first
my
one was a
God, I got shivers.
99.97% chance that this person is your first cousin or second cousin. Cousin. So I sent an email and just said, this is who I am, and I was adopted in this year and searching for a birth mother. And if you know anything about this in your family, because he was like a 19-year-old kid at Fordham University in New York. And so, if you can find out, well, within an hour, I got an email from him. And am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Somebody's asking if I'm okay. Oh, grandmother. Yeah, I've got grandbaby number 5 on the way. So he said, yeah, I'll reach out to my grandfather, who turned out to be my uncle. And
What?
so within like 4 hours of
So this was a
getting the
cousin,
results,
right? This was a cousin.
it was like a second or third cousin, something like that. So within about 4 hours, I had the whole story. I was a little shaken,
Yeah.
My uncle writes me this long email. I was crying, yeah. So he writes me this long email telling me the story of my mother, which was his sister, and what he remembered, because she was a few years older than him, and what he remembered about her leaving home at 16, and they were in Georgia and she moved to California. I mean, it was like this long story, and I had never mentioned where I was born or any of that information. And he he spoke about what's called the Florence Crittenden House in San Francisco, which was a home for unwed mothers. And so I knew that that's where I had been born. I didn't mention any of that. He mentions it in the letter. And I'm sitting in my office reading this letter, and I just start sobbing. I'm by myself going, oh my God, I have chills right now thinking about it. This is the completion of my story that I've been searching for all these years.
That's what I was wondering. So you were searching all this time, and you never were able to find your birth mother.
Right. Right. That's incredible. It was incredible. What was so surprising to me, I think the most surprising thing to me was after finding out all this information and then connecting with my brother and sister and learning about her, I felt a sense of peace that I hadn't even known I was missing.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden I exhaled for the first time in my life. It was very, very strange. So yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you answered my question, were you adopted?
Yes, she's adopted. And also the shame of unwed mothers back then was crazy, and it was. So, really
terrible. And that's why they didn't talk about it, because my uncle said he mentioned it once to his mom, their mom, and she was like, we will never discuss this again. So it was to not be discussed. And so my birth mother never told, she went on to have 2 more kids, never told either one of them about me. So it was really hard, especially on my sister, who was the youngest of the 3 of us. And because she and her mom were really close. And so she felt like, how could I have gone all those years and not known? How could she have not
That's
told
true. It's
me?
a little bit of a betrayal. I mean, you can see why she did.
Definitely.
Wow,
Definitely.
we only have 2 minutes left, by the way. Just I don't want you to be like shocked. Okay. I was going to hang up in the middle of your story. So man, we got 2 minutes here, because you know how that is. What a story! Thank you for sharing it, and I want to talk more to you privately about this. But wow, I'm glad you felt peace at the end of that.
Yeah, so much. Yeah, incredible.
Wow.
All right. Well, so next week I'll be in Southern California. So I don't know if we could work out something where we could do this like in the same room or the same outside area. So maybe we can get creative. Otherwise we can do it from our homes.
Yeah, I don't know how. I got to figure that out. I mean, it's just like, where can we go? I feel like I'm sneaking away to go have a romantic evening with my girlfriend.
That'll be fun.
Oh, BM Gill says, I'm glad I watched tonight. Oh, we're glad you did too. And Lady Tina says, thank you for sharing your story, Nancy. It was a beautiful story. And man, I bet you there's a lot of people out there who've gone through stuff like this, and due to Ancestry.com and all these places, I mean, you're able to finally get some closure. You had closure finally.
Definitely. Yeah. Questions answered, learned about her. I got pictures, they sent me pictures. I just grew up wanting a picture of her so badly.
Did she look like you?
I got pictures. There are some similarities, and when she was a child, she looks exactly